To get cool stuff from ZGB, visit
ZombieGoBoo.com.
Hey, what's up, survivors? Welcome to another mind-blowing review and unboxing from Zombie Go Boom. Today we will be reviewing some knives from Bullseye Blades custom throwing knives. They're very cool. There are 9 of them, and some of them are for no spin. Most of them are actually for no spin, and then some of them are for traditional rotational throwing. So let's get started. Number 1 is the spinner, and I actually have a couple of these and I really like them, and they're mostly for rotation, but I found that if you put your finger right here on that notch right there, you can actually do no spin. So rotational, very simple, no big deal, but then right here, no spin, works very well. So I'm actually super surprised at how versatile the spinner is. I really like it, and this one has leather scales, which is very nice. I love the weight, love everything about it. The next knife is called the Northstar Spinner. Now this one I got to mess with a little bit, and it's basically like the original spinner, but the shape is a little bit different, and again, this is made for rotational throwing, and let me demonstrate that real quick. Can't stick it every time. There we go. But again, out of all of the knives, and again, most of them are for no spin, this one is actually my favorite for no spin. Believe it or not. It's not, I don't think it's designed for no spin. There are a lot of other knives that are designed for no spin in that box. But this is by far my favorite for no spin, even though it's for traditional, which is insane. I'm gonna have to buy some of these. I really am. I'm so in love. And you can see the scales are just super nice. They have some really nice texture to them. I don't know. In love with this one. Next is the Double Trouble, and this one is basically for rotational throwing. Trying to do no spin with this would be difficult because you're way down here. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. It's obviously not impossible, but at longer distances it would be a lot harder. And again, for rotational, and I'm not very good at rotational throwing. I don't really enjoy it that much, but it's nice, it's well weighted, it's well designed. For me, it's not something I would get because I really like no spin, and I'd rather focus on no spin than anything else. Next one is the Sakari. Now you guys have seen this on Zombie Go Boom. This is the one that RC, the combat knife thrower, uses a lot of times, and he and Jeremy designed it to be for no spin. It's very heavy in the back end, light on the front. That helps the knife not rotate too far forward, and it's not a bad knife. I enjoy it. It's really good for long distances. If you're throwing no spin from, say, I don't know, this is instinctive, so I have no idea how far I am. This might be like 5 meters. It does incredible, and oh man, and it sticks so far. And we actually got a kill on Zombie Go Boom with this knife, and I believe that the biggest reason why we got a kill is because it manages to pierce in a lot because of how thin it is here at the top, here at the tip I mean. And so for zombie killing and for long distance no spin, this thing is just very awesome. If I were to say anything negative about it, it's just that it's not too pleasing aesthetically. As far as like throwing knives are concerned, this is probably the ugliest one I've ever seen. But it works, and function is more important. And you know, some people might think that this looks cool. To me, it just reminds me of like a bird. I don't know why, but maybe it's because of this looks like a beak. So as far as design, like as far as functionality, it's amazing. Personally, I don't find it too pretty, especially when compared to something like this. That is a beautiful looking knife. All right, let's keep going. So the Sakari was number 4. Number 5, this is called the Trapper. And I was throwing this a tiny bit earlier. I threw these at least once so that I could understand the balance. And this is pretty good. It's, you know, pretty good for no spin. I guess you could do rotational throwing, but I think it's mostly meant for no spin. And but again, like, if I were to pick between this, which is designed for no spin, and this, which is designed for rotational, I would go with that. Oh, I broke the rules. In the book, right here, it says I shouldn't throw 2 knives into the same target, so that, you know, because this is a pass-around box. Essentially, for you guys that don't know, this box is being sent to knife throwers all over the country, and one knife thrower sends it to another and to another and to another. It's my turn, and I have to send it to somebody else next. So there are quite a few rules in the booklet that we got right here about all of these knives, and one of them is don't throw 2 knives into the same target. So I apologize for that. It's the first time I've done that, and it won't happen again. All right, let's keep going. So that was number 5. Number 6 is the, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Kermode. Kermode. Let me make sure that's correct. Yes. And this one is, again, for rotational. If you try to do no spin, you kind of want to put your index finger at the balance point, and the balance point right here is at the guard, which means that I would have to have my finger at the guard in order to throw at the balance point. So definitely not for no spin. I could move my finger down, but then it's going to make it a little bit difficult. I don't feel like I have control over the knife just doing that. And then also rotational knives are usually a little thinner in the spine, as you can see, and that is because since you're causing that, you know, that sliding with your index finger, you're trying to cause that backwards rotation to make up for the forward rotation. You kind of want the spine to be thicker so that your finger doesn't slip off. If your finger slips off while you're throwing it, it'll cause the knife to bullet spin and do a bunch of crazy things. So, you know, again, I'm not the best person at rotational throwing, which means that I can't really review it as a good spinning knife. I mean, but it does well. I mean, obviously that was perfect. So as far as I know about spin throwing, this thing is pretty good. Number 7, this is called the Onda. And let me make sure that's correct. Onda, no, this is the Onda. Is it in the wrong place? 5, oh, it goes to 8, 5, no, 6, 8, and then 7. So this is actually the Northstar. Let me make sure. Yes, Northstar. So this is, I think this is also for no spin, but I'm sure you can throw this rotationally, except it's a little short, maybe, for rotational throwing. Rotational knives are usually a lot longer than no spin, but here's no spin. Just easy, very light knife. So I don't know how well it would do from, that sticks in a lot. I don't know how well it would do from like really long distances because it is so light and short, but ooh. Let me try that again. Yeah, not bad. Feels good. Again,
I didn't get a good shot of that. That's
you
what
didn't?
I'm trying to do, yeah.
Of me throwing it?
No, of the knife
Oh,
itself.
the knife itself. Okay. Thank you, Nate. There you go. And I'll get some shots of all of these so that we can see how awesome they are. Next is number 7, which is the Onda. This one's really interesting because it has a very weird shape to it. But again, as you can see, if we look at the Sakari right here, just has a big belly around the handle area, and that's again to balance it heavy at the bottom. So this is probably really good at long distances for no spin, obviously. And this would probably not work for rotation at all. But yeah, for sure. It flew a little weird. Let me try one more time. You want to find the balance point. Balance point's way down here, and I feel if I throw it at the balance point, I don't feel like I have a good hold of the knife. So I'm actually gonna throw it a little higher than the balance point. Ooh. Can't stick it all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I think the belly just makes it kind of wobble a little bit. So I can see this being used for like extreme long distances, just because you have the help of the weight toward the pommel end, but not my cup of tea. And the last one we have is the Northstar Slim. Let me check on that. Northstar Slim, that's correct. And this one is again for no spin. Has a little bump right here, which is nice, because when you scrape across a little bump, it gives you an edge, so to speak, on creating that back rotation. Wow, did you see that fly? Ooh, it sticks very, very deeply. It's a little Fedine maybe for you guys. Ooh. Try it again. Sorry. There we go. But again, like, I mean, all of these knives are absolute quality, and if you guys watching at home are thinking about getting into knife throwing, and you think, oh man, I'll just get some tiny little throwing knives from like a mass manufacturer, and no, don't do that to yourself. It's gonna be a lot harder to learn, and it's gonna maybe make it so that you give up, because nobody is gonna want to throw those tiny little knives that you get from like wholesalers and things like that, and professional knife throwers will never throw that. It's kind of like when you start playing the guitar, you know. For me, I really wanted to learn how to play the guitar, and then my grandma got me this like $45 acoustic guitar, and it was like, I didn't realize how much harder it was to play that than a good guitar. Luckily, you know, my grandma got it for me, and so I was like, I'm gonna learn to play, and I kept going at it, but I couldn't do bar chords because, like, not to get too involved, but the action was too high, the space between the strings and the fretboard. So bar chords, I just couldn't do it. And then finally I begged my dad to get me an electric guitar. He gave me the electric guitar, and boom, I could do the bar chords, no problem. So at that point, it wasn't even my skill level, it was the fact that I had an inferior product. So if you want to learn, it is better to learn with a better product, especially if you're gonna decide to be you know, serious with it. So basically, you can get a bunch of crappy little throwing knives, like a bunch of them, for the price of one really good custom knife. Well, I suggest that you get the one really good custom knife, because you are actually going to enjoy it. You're going to learn faster, and you're gonna get better, and eventually you might even be able to compete. Now, final verdict. Out of all of these knives that I just threw, my favorite by a long shot is this Northstar Spinner. It's super well balanced, it's nice. If you want to do rotational throwing, that's pretty much what it's designed for, but for some strange reason, it's the best no spin thrower out of the bunch. Thank you so much to Jeremy for sending that to us. Please check out the link in the description below. It will take you to Bullseye Blades Custom Throwing Knives, at least their Facebook. You can order his custom knives from there. Excellent work. This guy's just phenomenal, and he's also a really decent knife thrower himself, so he knows what he's doing, essentially. You know, he's not just designing these knives and expecting them to work. He's actually out there, he's throwing them, he's making sure that they are quality products, and they certainly are. But that's it with another mind-blowing unboxing from Zombie Go Boom. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll have another one soon for other products that we'd like to try out and test, or products that you guys want to see and you want to know our hopefully qualified opinion on. We'll see you guys next time.
To get cool stuff from ZGB, visit